Hello again. In this video, I'm going to look at the source discussion question from week 6, which was about Jefferson's notes on the state of Virginia. A little bit of background on this. Jefferson was basically defending America against critics from France who said that America's people and even its wildlife were inferior to those of Europe. So a lot of the pseudo-scientific biological discussion of African Americans comes into this context where he is saying that some races of people and some races, even of animals, are better than others. So the first question was, why does he think an agrarian republic is superior to a state based on manufactures? Agrarian meaning based on the land, farmers, essentially. Well, he argues that commerce, manufacture, anything to do with money is essentially corrupting. He feels that people whose income is based on the land are self-supporting, whereas those who engage in commerce are reliant upon the whims of others and therefore can be corrupted by money. He sees an agrarian republic in a country like America, where there's essentially limitless land to the West, as guaranteeing equality. They can make sure that there is not too much of a divide between rich and poor by just colonizing further west. He also argues that, quotes, the mobs of great cities have too bad an influence on politics. He thinks if everyone's a small farmer, you won't get the crowds, the poor people who are rioting and putting undue pressure on government. The second question, why does Jefferson believe slaves cannot be set free and allowed to take part in governing society? There's essentially two arguments to this. The first argument is the bitterness between blacks and whites would be too much to overcome. If African American slaves were set free, they would all massacre their former masters. The second part of this is Jefferson's biological view in the inferiority of Africans compared to Europeans. I'm not going to go through all the arguments he uses. There's lots of them, and they're all pseudoscience and frankly racist. Jefferson here is reflecting a growing set of ideas within European thought that humans were ranked into biological races. You could argue that racism is an invention of the Enlightenment. Ironically, we think of the Enlightenment as being about good things and increasing human freedom, but also the Enlightenment belief that science could be applied to everything led to some missteps, such as the belief in human races. And the third question, why does Jefferson have such an unrealistic and racist view of African Americans? The short answer is he was a slave owner. He had a vested interest in maintaining slavery. And also, he would only encounter African Americans as slaves. There would be the people working on his estates, working in his workshops, serving him as food, and so on. It's very easy to claim that a group of people are incapable of intellectual pursuit if you deny them any access to intellectual pursuits and only see them as servants and workers. And as I said before, he's also reflecting a general trend within European thought towards categorizing humans into races and claiming, again, with no scientific basis whatsoever, that Africans are closer to apes than they are to other humans, supposedly superior humans, by which he means, of course, white people.